Settle in
on Off the Ball.
Brought to you by Guinness 00.
Right then, welcome back to another edition of Settle In with Guinness 00. I'm delighted to say that Gearoid McDaid is with us in studio. He's a 7-time Irish champion surfer and a newly minted European champion as of this year. Gearoid, you're very welcome to the studio. How are you doing?
All good, all good. Thanks for having us on.
Thank you for coming in. It's not got too wild out there just yet. We are in the calm before the storm. Is this like your Christmas Eve? For people who might be listening to this in a few weeks' time, Storm Amy is about to hit tomorrow, and I often think surfers are such lunatics that they go chasing this sort of stuff.
It kind of depends. Like,
Right.
some storms you're like eyeing them up and you're like, oh, this one's going to be really good, but it depends how they track and how they move. But this one is like, pretty windy. It's going to be pretty hectic, so I don't even know if we're going to be able to surf or not. But yeah, I don't know. Depending on how windy it is, there might be some sheltered spots we'll be able to try.
Okay, because you went out tracking one in the summertime, right? So it's the summertime storms that are a bit lighter and a bit more doable?
Yeah, but that one was really weird, that one there in
Right.
August. I think it was Storm Erin or something.
Yes.
That hurricane. But yeah, that one tracked really good and the winds were really light. Like, it was quite a big storm that came in, but when the waves broke, the wind kind of died. So that's kind of what you want. You want the storm to be out at sea and then the wind light on shore. So it's like the kind of perfect elements need to line up. It's a bit weird.
Yeah.
You don't want super strong winds. You want the strong winds like out in the ocean, and then like light winds when you're on the waves.
Do you have to become a little bit of a meteorologist as a surfer?
Oh, fully. Yeah. I spend my days looking at charts, weather maps, everything. Like, I have about 10 different apps on my phone for
Really?
for the weather and wind and waves and all of it.
At this stage, is it second nature to you, or is it very much still a complicated space?
It is still complicated because there's so many different like platforms that like to track it and like the different whatever they're called. But yeah, and it changes so much. Where Ireland is one of those places where the storms change like crazy. Like, the wind will be going this way 1 second, this way the next, like, and then it's raining and it's sunny, like everyone knows. But yes, really, you really have to be on it and checking all the different platforms, all the different apps, and seeing which ones are going to hopefully line up the best.
Because you were saying there that wintertime in Ireland is actually the best time of the year to be a surfer. Because I was curious before chatting to you, do you actually follow summer around the world and spend your summers up here and then go down to the southern hemisphere for winter? But actually it's closer to the opposite, maybe.
It pretty much is. Like, I know there's that thing everyone thinks surfing and summer kind of go together, and like, it does. It's nice to be in the water and when it's warm and stuff. But for us, it's nearly you're following the winter around the world. Like, in our summer, depending on what contests I have around Europe, I usually go to the southern hemisphere chasing their winter because that's when they get their biggest swells. And then, yeah, you're back in Europe for our winter. And like, yeah, pretty rare you'd leave Europe for winter. Like, we just get non-stop good waves between anywhere in Europe. So I do travel a lot still in Europe to whatever, Portugal, Spain, try go some different places like Iceland and stuff, like depending on how the weather comes. But yeah, it's a place to be.
Is this, when I say this, Ireland, is Ireland a good environment and a favourable one to be a surfer in, or would you be better off being from somewhere else?
It is and it isn't, I suppose. Like, Ireland, the way it's set up, we have like the best waves in the world, and like, it's not as busy as everywhere else in the world. Like, all this stuff kind of plays to be favourable, but then you've got to deal with the cold. You got to deal with these storms that, like, if it is those storms are there in January, that it might be storm for the whole month. Like, it could be pretty hard to surf, like sideways rain, all that. Whereas all those other countries, it's sunny, it's nice, you can get in no matter what. But like, you gotta take the good with the bad, I suppose, that like, you get these like perfect days and the waves are really good, it's not that busy, but you just gotta wait out the storms at the same time. Yeah,
there's an element of planning which people in the Mediterranean can get, people in more tropical climates can get, which you're not afforded. You kind of have to fly by the seat of your pants with your training plan sometimes, I'd imagine. Oh yeah, like my days are completely changed. If I like plan something for the week, I'm like, right, I'll try to do this, and like, things can change like a drop of a hat. Like, I've woke up in the morning, had a plan of like, right, today I'm going to be going to the gym, taking it easy, like, the waves don't look great here, and then all of a sudden you get a call and like, you're packing your bags and you're on a flight that evening somewhere random. So like, it definitely it changes pretty quick. Yeah. Do you like that, or are you a creature of habit and you don't really like being thrown off course?
I like it and I don't like it. Like, obviously it's nice when you're at home and you're in your routine and everything, but then it's nice to get that excitement and that thrill of like dropping everything and just going. Like, it's epic. It does make it hard to plan things though with life and a lot of other things, but yeah, it's good fun.
You're from Sligo. You're at the doorstep of one of the great locations for surfing in Ireland. At what stage in your life did you realise that you could make a living out of this, that you could become an internationally successful surfer and it could be more than just a childhood hobby?
I guess, like, it never really like was like something I was like, oh, I'm gonna be a pro surfer. Like, it was just something that sort of happened. Like, I loved surfing. I surfed every day growing up through school, like before school, after school, every weekend, no matter what. My dad would drive me up and down the coast looking for waves, and then I love competing. I'm super competitive, so I was just naturally doing the surf competitions and started winning them in Ireland. And then you go away on like the Irish team and you start doing pretty good at like the Europeans and stuff. And then I was just lucky. I got picked up by a couple of sponsors when I was super young, like 14 or 15, and like they started bringing me to some more international contests and that kind of stuff. And then one thing led to another, and now I've got support of like, I've got enough support to be able to call it my job. And yeah, it's amazing to be able to just do what you love every day. It's kind of a mad thing that like my job is like going surfing every day, but I wouldn't change it.
Yeah, for sure. Your dad was obviously a big surfer as well.
Yes, Dad started surfing in Rossnowla there, like in Ballyshannon when he was younger with like the Britons and that kind of crew. And he got like all my brother and my sister all kind of into it when we were super young, bringing us out, you know, just your standard summer days on the bodyboards and stuff. And then kind of from when I was 10, for some reason I just was like, oh, I really like this, I want to go do it, and just kind of kept asking him to bring me all the time. And yeah, just one thing led to another, and he loved bringing me and videoing me and going surfing with me, so like it just kind of led to this, really.
It's amazing, that image that you paint there of driving up and down the coast looking for the best waves. That must have been such a thrill as a child. What is it, literally just going from beach to beach, from coastal section to coastal section, trying to find what looks like the most turbulence out in the water? Pretty
much. Like when I was like 11 or 12 especially, you're pretty young, you're small, like you're not looking for like big waves, you're trying to find the nice sheltered little beaches. And during winter, like my dad, we'd get in the car, we'd be like, right, we'll go try this place, it'd be too big, go try this place, it'd be too small. So you were literally just zigzagging in and out the coast. You could have gone the whole way. I think the furthest we drove was from Sligo to Rossnowla, and then none of the spots there were any good, so then we drove all the way down to Enniscrone. So it was like 40 minutes that way, an hour and a half that way, just to get a surf, like, and it's just fully chasing it non-stop.
Amazing. That makes it more enjoyable?
It's enjoyable, but you get sick, you're like getting car sick and over it, and then you just want to get in at the end of the day, like, just to try to get one done. So what's the closest beach to where you grew up, or the closest spot to where you found your first surf? I grew up surfing Strandhill. Strandhill? Yeah, I lived in Sligo town, I grew up in Sligo town, but I now live in Strandhill. I moved out beside the beach, so that's where I grew up. Surfed pretty much every day that I could there, and I still surf every day there that I can, and then travel to Bundoran, Eastkey, Lahinch, all those kind of places now when the waves are good. But I presume that's one of the beaches that you've mentioned there are the best beaches, like pound for pound, let's say, in Ireland for catching waves. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking, even like for beginners, you got like Lahinch, Rossnowla, Bundoran, Strandhill, Enniscrone. There's so many beaches for like beginners that are really good, but like for people looking for really good waves, you're going to either Bundoran, Eastkey, or down around Lahinch. Okay. They're kind of like the main hubs. I mean, there's other main hubs, like Portrush has some good waves and like other places, but like for me, that's kind of where the best waves are in the country. Talk to us about this year then, and becoming European champion. How did the competition go? Was it drama filled? Was it expectation as opposed to a dream-like scenario for you? Talk through this whole thing. Well, it's definitely a dream scenario, I suppose. But yeah, like 2 years ago, like the Europeans is every 2 years, and 2 years ago I came second. So I was like so close that time and like really wanted it. And going into this contest like that, I knew that I could get there, obviously, from the year before. And I kind of just took it pretty relaxed and easy, and I was just really enjoying the whole thing. Like, we had a really good team. The Irish team was there, and like Gavin McRae, who was coaching us there, was like, it's kind of made the whole thing just real fun, and like we were just kind of cruising on the beach, everyone laughing, joking. I wasn't taking it too serious. I was like, if every heat, sometimes if you're in a heat, you can like get too bogged down and like stress and like make mistakes. But this time I was kind of like, oh, if it happens, it happens. I'm just going to sit there. I know my surfing's good enough, so if I get the waves, I'll do it. So I was kind of just chilling the whole way through it. Like I had one heat that was like I think it was like the semis or something. I had 2 Portuguese guys in my heat. And when you have 2 of the same country in your heat, they like have tactics to like block you getting waves and stuff.
Okay, how does that work?
So like there's a priority system, and like if one of them has priority over you, he can sit on you and stop you getting waves, and the other guy can catch waves. So it's like, it's so hard when you have 2 people from the same heat. And that one, I was like, I kind of had a shocker because they were putting so much pressure on me. And then just in the last 10 seconds, I just got through. I got a good wave and got through that heat. And then that was kind of the only heat that I was like stressed in. Like other than that, I was cruising. I was like, yeah, I just was enjoying it. I was just enjoying surfing and being there, and had my whole family on the beach. So it was just kind of felt like home, really.
So how many heats do you have to go through until you actually? And then is there a medal event at the end then?
Yeah. So there's like, you have to get through. I think I got through about 8 rounds of heats, and then the final. And so yeah, you're surfing every single day for 8 days, pretty much 8 or 9 days, surfing twice some days. So it's a long, grueling week. Like you're pretty torched after it. And yeah, you're like on the beach for 12 hours of the day. You're supporting the rest of the team who's surfing throughout the day. So yeah, it's a long week, but it is good fun.
Yeah, and the 2 Portuguese surfers there as well. They're on home territory as well. So it does the local knowledge of a beach actually help?
It definitely does. Like, especially, yeah, local knowledge always helps. You've surfed it more. You've just, you know what to expect more. Like, I mean, I'd been there a lot. I'd surfed there a lot the week before. So I kind of knew, I kind of had that, like, I kind of was familiar with it. But you also get, like, I know it's not the best thing to say, but like there is local bias at the same time. Like,
yeah.
Like the local guys always get that little nudge. Like you always you have to like beat them like properly, which is it's kind of funny.
Of course,
and it's just natural, like the way every sport is, I suppose. The locals are always favourites and stuff. So, but yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun.
I'm trying to rack my brains and trying to think back to watching surfing in the middle of the night from French Polynesia at the Olympics last year. Yeah. And I presume it's the same format, but I've completely forgotten how it works. So how do you win the competition in surf?
It's all the same format. Surfing competitions, they're pretty similar. It's like, depending, there can be 4 people in a heat, or it can be a man-on-man heat where there's 2 people. If it's a 4-person heat, 2 people will progress and 2 people will lose, and that's it. And it's like counted on your 2 best waves. So
is that like somebody's judging you, scoring?
Yeah, there's 5 judges that's there sitting watching and put down the scores. And
what are they judging that on? What are the criteria?
Well, in the Olympics, the way that wave was in Tahiti was like, it's a barreling wave. So it's like fully just on how people were getting barreled, like disappearing behind the wave, like how deep they are, how long they stay in it for.
That's the only thing they were judging them on? In
the Olympics, yeah. But because just the way that wave is, it's like a really hollow barreling wave, so that's kind of what it is. But like, say, the Europeans, where it's a beach break and it's small, it's on the manoeuvres you do. It's like the turns, the airs, that kind of thing.
That seems completely different.
Yeah, it is. And like sometimes you're like that to qualify for the Olympics, you're surfing really small waves, and then the person who's qualifying is getting to qualify for like Chopu, which was really big waves. So it's a hard one, but it's just purely on forecast, really. So
because I was just going to ask, it's not to do with geography then. You can get the barreling waves in Ireland then as well.
Oh yeah, okay. Like we have some of the best barreling waves in the world, like Mullaghmore and like a couple of waves around Bundoran. Like they're some of the best big wave, hollow barreling waves you can get. So it's just like, you can organise a contest to be on the best wave in the world, but if you don't get the forecast, it's not going to happen.
And then I remember at the Olympics last year, there was certainly one of the days that had to be completely abandoned because it was just too dead.
Yeah.
Or at least a couple of hours that had to be postponed. Like, that must be an interesting thing. I presume it's quite common, first of all, and it must be a really interesting thing to have to deal with mentally, that you're prepared to go to war and it's like actually wait until tomorrow.
Yeah, that's the difference, especially in the Olympics with surfing and the sports, is like surfing has like all the contests have a waiting period, they call it.
Yes.
So like there's a 2-week waiting period, and they might only need 3 days to run the contest, but they have a 2-week waiting period to be able to get those 3 days.
Okay.
Because you can go anywhere in the world and there can be no swell, it can be windy, you could get an unexpected storm. So like that's the thing, you're just constantly ready and waiting. It is nice sometimes when you get those days off, you can kind of switch off and relax and do whatever you want for the day, just go and enjoy it.
Yeah.
But yeah, then you have to switch back on the next day, get ready to go again.
How did it feel watching the Olympics last year, not being involved?
I don't really know. Like, it was definitely like that one especially was something I would have really loved to have been a part of because of the way the wave was. Like at Tahiti, and it is one of those kind of barreling waves. It's something that I kind of think that I'm a bit more like I'd be better at that kind of stuff. And yeah, it was obviously I was gutted not to make it. I had a bit of a shocker in the qualifying last time.
What happened?
Just didn't get the waves. It was like, it was in Puerto Rico, and yeah, just one of those things happens. Like, not every contest goes your way. There's so many good people in the water. You have to be on the ball like the whole time.
Yeah.
Never like, yeah, you have to be best waves, never fall off, get the whole thing. So yeah, it's one of those things that just happens. The heats don't go your way. You get underscored, the judges can overscore someone else. Like, it's just, yeah, sometimes it's luck, but you also make your own luck to get there.
There's a lot out of your hands in this sport.
Yeah, that's it. Like, you're dealing with Mother Nature, you're dealing with judges. That's it. You have to just put on your best performance, and if you do your best, then you're happy enough with that. If you win or lose, I suppose.
So does that lessen the disappointment, or does that increase the disappointment?
I guess I know for me, if I feel I surf good, I'm not that disappointed if I lose. Or like, I surf good, and like I couldn't have really done anything else. But it's those heats where like you don't really feel like you surf to your full potential and you lose, or like even sometimes when you surf good and then you miss out because the judges kind of take you down that little bit, and you come in sometimes and everyone's like, oh, you got the score there for sure. Like, the judges, like, they done you bad there. Those ones are pretty disheartening. But yeah, I feel like once you perform good, it's all you can do.
Yeah.
Got to be happy with that.
How does that frame the next Olympics for you then? Like, in the context of potentially crazy things happening and a great deal of your hopes being out of your hands, do you kind of have to say to yourself, it's going to be what it's going to be, and you can't really get too wound up in it? Or are you laser focused on this, LA or nothing? I
am laser focused on it, but I also, like the way I was at the Europeans, I was like, if it happens, it happens. And like, I know my ability is good enough to get there. And just, if I perform, I know I can get there. So that's kind of what I'm just focusing on, is just like being confident in myself and in my ability. And yeah, then if it happens and things go my way or things don't go my way, that's it. But I mean, we don't know how to qualify yet. They haven't like released the pathway yet. So we're just kind of waiting to see how that's going to go, and yeah, I'll figure it out from there. And then if not, there's always the next one still too. Yeah, of course. The World Championships, though, we do know is did you say it's Nicaragua where that's happening? No. So we just had the World Championships there last month in El Salvador. In El Salvador, sorry. Yeah. That was one of those contests that just didn't go my way. Like, okay. I got pretty, like, literally we were there, like, whatever, a week before the contest. I broke all my boards, and like, just one of those things, every bad things kept happening and stuff, and like, right. Then just the heats didn't go my way. But yeah, that had nothing to do with the Olympics, so okay. I guess it's the throwaway event, and we'll the next 3 World Championships over the next 3 years, I think that's going to be how the qualification is settled. How did your boards break? You just break your boards with the waves. Like, the waves over there, they have quite a lot of power in them. So like, whatever, if you come down on them wrong, or like they buckle. They're pretty light. Yeah. They're made of fiberglass and they're light. So like, you break them with quite a lot. So what did you do? Did you use somebody else's? Or did you manage to buy a new one? I got them fixed. Like, okay. you can fix them, but they're not the same. They don't have, because it's all about the flex in the board. So they're never going to be the same. And yeah, just like, then there was like a couple other things. Like, I got like a flu and like felt sick, and then yeah, I wasn't really enjoying it that much. And yeah, it's just one thing led to another, and then yeah, just lost and got out of there.
You're obviously Ireland's first European champion in this sport, so I'm sure you've been referred to as a trailblazer quite a bit on the sport, which is a minority sport. It's great to see it in the Olympic Games, where it's going to come in from stage left and become a prominent thing in, you know, sports people's and sports watchers' lives. How does our culture of surfing here differ from the superpowers of surfing? I presume like the likes of Australia, when you're hanging around with Australian surfers and they come from what is like a pretty majority sport in their country. How do our sporting cultures differ with regards to surfing?
I guess like it's like surfing here like is a big sport. Like there's still a lot of people do it, and like
Sure.
you see every year like the surf schools, they're busier. Like there's more and more people getting into it. But I think in those other countries like Australia, America, it's just like it is like a professional sport. Like it's like they take it so serious. They've got so much money behind them that there's like multiple coaches. They've got fitness coaches, physios, like mental coaches, all these people traveling with them, filmers, that like it's a proper sports team like you'd see any Premier League team traveling with. Like it's like proper professional team. And I guess once you have, it's such a big sport over there, there's so much more money in it and all that stuff, that's how it is. But it is hopefully something that'll change in the next couple of years, like in Ireland, that people do see it as that professional sport. The younger kids see it as possible, like they see the possibilities of becoming a professional at it and doing it for their jobs, and then it does turn into something like that and there gets more money behind it. The more mainstream brands see it as a viable promotion thing and like really get behind the people who are trying to make it in the sport.
Yeah.
Because you do see the brands and stuff there, like they do the ads and stuff, and it's always with like people just beginning to surf and stuff. But like it'd be kind of cool to see some big brands get in there and like support. Like I know I use some of the guys to make their ads with and surfing in Ireland.
For sure. So what are you seeing on the ground here, or in the water, for use of a better phrase, like in terms of the next generation, or even in terms of surfing as just a widely participated sport? Because you are right, surf schools have boomed over the last couple of years. I think maybe a lot of Irish people kind of fell back in love with the nature of our country during COVID. I know a lot of people maybe fell out of love with aspects of Ireland during COVID, but I think a lot of people just kind of explored the coastlines of this country, and maybe people got into activities such as like cycling and surfing and all that sort of stuff. Is that one of the main reasons for it, or are there other factors as to why the sport is trending upwards?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is. That was like one of the main reasons, that like it was COVID, nobody could leave, and they were looking for activities to do in the summer in Ireland. Like you couldn't leave the country, but you could travel. So like you could travel within the country. So you're obviously, if you're in a city, your thought is let's go to the beach, I suppose. Yeah. And you're trying to get in the water and that. And surfing's a great way to do that through all the surf schools. Like it's the best way to do it. You've got your coaches and stuff, and yeah, I think that could have been a thing that made it boom a little bit more. But even still, there's just, but it's a natural growth, I suppose, of people who used to surf when they were younger, grow older, they have kids, and then they get more friends, and more friends get into it. That kind of way, that's even growing it as well, I think. Like, so many people I know have kids, and they're all starting to surf now as well. And yeah, just a combination of everything, really. Like, because surfing, I guess it's been a sport for a long time, and Ireland was actually probably one of the first countries in the world to surf. Like they had not the first country in the world, but it was early enough in the surfing world to start. Like guys like Kevin Cavey and the Britons, they started it back in the 60s in Ireland.
Really?
Yeah. And yeah, it's always been in the culture. Like, sure, there was a movie in all the cinemas, Wave Riders there, like whatever, 10, 15 years ago. That was Richie Fitzgerald and all them surfing Mulliganmore and stuff. And yeah, I don't know, it's hard to know what's made it boom, but it's definitely coming up, and I think, yeah, hopefully it's getting more eyes and more mainstream.
Like one of the barriers to entry is obviously geography. You have to be in a good location in Ireland to do it. Is finance a bit of a barrier to entry, or is it more affordable than people think?
I guess like to start and go to a surf school, it's like €50 for a lesson, and you're getting your equipment, everything given you, you're safe, you get taught about the ocean and all that stuff. And then I guess to buy you can do it cheap. Same with any sport, you can start off cheap. You can get second-hand boards, you can get second-hand wetsuits. They're not that expensive. Like, is a bit more expensive than some other sports where you just buy a pair of football boots or something and go play. But like, no matter what, every sport ends up being more and more expensive as you want the better equipment.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But yeah, you can start it cheap. And I know, like, I think people might think it's expensive, but yeah, you can definitely do it cheap and get in and get out there just to start it off.
When you're travelling the world and meeting some of the other best surfers in the planet, have you found a common denominator with regards to personality? Like, what personality is common amongst all great surfers?
I don't know. There definitely is. Like, I know, especially like us and like the Australians or something, like we get on really good. Every time I was traveling all around the world, I was always traveling with the Aussie guys. Like, we all just got on well, like kind of get each other's humor and that kind of stuff. And yeah, I guess every surfer in the world is like, I don't know, they're a bit mad. Like, to be able to dedicate that much time to something and love it that much, everyone's a little bit mad.
Yeah.
So yeah, and to get in the water when it's freezing and all that, everyone's a bit nuts. So
yeah,
you're
crazy.
Like
there's no question about that. Like, it's kind of probably underlined a stereotype, something you said earlier on, talking about these competitions and saying like, it is what it is. It's out of my control. Like, people definitely think that surfers are very relaxed people, very chilled out. And I wonder, is it actually because of the elements, that so much of it is completely out of your control? You have to have that sort of attitude of, listen, I'm only in control of so much of it. It is what it is.
Yeah, and I guess surfers are they're relaxed enough people, but like, people also get that image of surfers being the relaxed bum, like surf bum. That's kind of, it is an image that everybody thinks of. But like now, especially, like surfers are so focused, like especially the competitive surfers, you have to be so focused and like training every day in the gym. You have to be on top of everything. Like, it's not like, oh yeah, they're surf bums out there just chilling. Like, it's like you're there for a reason. You have a focus and stuff now, and yeah, it's definitely changing, and yeah, it is, but we enjoy it and we're chill.
I think people probably appreciate the significant difference between, you know, a surf bum, which is someone like me doing one surf lesson and sitting on the beach during a holiday, compared to you guys who are that are professional sports people. Like, there is obviously a drive inside all of you and a professionalism inside all of you. Yeah,
exactly. You're like, like, if you don't train, you're going to get injured. Like, there's so much stuff that can go wrong in surfing. Like, I've learned that over the years of like little niggling injuries I've had that have like took me out of the water for a while because when I was younger, obviously you don't think, oh, gym's not important, that stuff, mobility, stretching's not important. But then as soon as you get your first injury, you realize how important that stuff is. So
imagine,
it's something I've been real focused on the last number of years.
I presume it's the whole lot as well, like, because that's the first thing that a lot of people notice when they get on a board for the first time, is like, it is a full body workout. So I presume it's not just your core, for example, or your upper body. You have to be on top of everything to prevent injury and keep the body up to speed.
Yeah, literally, it is full body. You have to, like, I mean, I've injured ankles, knees, hips, elbows, shoulders. I've injured everything. So it's like, you really need to be on top of your whole body to make sure that like everything's strong, things are going to get held in the right place. And the ocean's pretty powerful, so it can rip you into a million different directions.
Yeah. Do you accept that? Are you fearful of that sometimes?
I guess over the last number of years, when I started getting injuries, coming back, you're a bit more like hesitant and stuff. You're like, oh, I'm not invincible. Bad things can happen. Like, one of my friends recently like broke his back there surfing a couple of weeks ago, and like, it's just one of those things. It's just pure unlucky. Like, things happen. Like, I guess you can do it running. You could roll an ankle, trip and fall, whatever. Like, but it is something you have to realize there's potential risks, but you try and minimize those risks by whatever your thought process, being ready, being fit, being able to handle it. But no matter, you could be the most fit, strong person in the world, but something unlucky happens and you get injured. So it is something that's there in the back of your mind, but you try and minimize it as much as you can.
Yeah, for sure. What's next for you now? What do the next couple of weeks look like as we kind of get deeper into winter? Is it just an opportunity for you to utilise whatever the winter's going to throw at us in Ireland and get better out on the West Coast?
So yeah, my next couple of weeks is kind of it's looking at swells. You're tracking storms around Europe, seeing where the best waves are going to be, and like if then there's no waves, I'm focusing on like it is the time your off season of contests to focus on your training and get stronger, that kind of stuff. I do have another contest. I go back to El Salvador now in November. I qualified for it's like this South American Pro Tour. They have like a global final that they invited like the four best that came from the Europeans. They invited the four best came from like the Asian games and all that. So we're all going over there to compete at a contest now in November, and then after that it's just training, chasing waves, and getting ready for the World Championships wherever they're on next year, and maybe depending on where they're on, try and get a trip over. It's like pretty important to go to those places beforehand where the contest is, like because you can go there for a few days before, but you might not get the same waves. Whereas if you go for a trip beforehand, you get used to the place, you really figured out what boards work best, how warm the water is, like all that kind of stuff. So wherever the worlds are on, we'll try do a training trip over there.
Nice one. Well, fingers crossed that all goes well for you and that you get familiar with Los Angeles as well over the next couple of years, Gearoid. It's been great catching up with you. Thanks a million for popping into the studio. We'll let you get out and look at the multiple weather apps to see if the storm is going to provide you with anything good.
See if there's anywhere sheltered enough to get it.
Gearoid McDaid, a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Settle in
on Off the Ball.
Brought to you by Guinness 00.